on, guys? Happy Friday. Coming off a nice winning night last night. We had 38-year-old Joe Flacco helping us cast the over for the Browns-Jets game, and we had 19-year-old Victor Wembanyama getting it done for us with the Spurs. Keep the points. They win it outright. Had some nice closing value on that line with some nice injury breaks. Glad to get some of those going our way. One loser was a one-unit bet on the Jets. Had some chances there, just couldn't quite get us in there for a backdoor push. John, pretty good night, though, and building up some momentum heading into the weekend.
Yeah, we'll see where that takes us, but I'm just getting amazed more and more with Joe Flacco. Another 300-yard, 3 TD performance out of him, and that takes the Browns into the playoffs. First NFL team to do so using 4 different quarterbacks. Jets have used 4 different quarterbacks. A little different result, though. This is a real good Jet defense. I'm going to call them elite. I'm going to call them real good, though. Real good cover guys. And without his top wide receiver, Cooper, he still goes and gets the job done. So very impressive. Good defense. Not in that top echelons, but they're in that playoff picture as far as tonight. NBA, we almost had the upset of what have been the century in the NBA.
Yeah.
We literally made fun all day of the Pistons' chances of beating the Celtics. We can't understate how when teams are coming off a West Coast trip, as the Celtics were, coming off huge games against the Clippers and Lakers, as the Celtics were, Jaylen Brown coming out, a letdown game against the worst team, and they found themselves down 19 at halftime. Guys, when we talk about trends and this, it's because these are the things that mean something, and everything that we talked about did. I could not pull the trigger on the Pistons. There was just no way in the world that I wanted to catch that falling knife. But in retrospect, easy to call now, should have bet the Celtics at halftime. But that line was ridiculous. Down 19, they were a 14.5-point favorite. And I think it was a, 145, 150 take back on the money line.
Yep.
So there wasn't enough value. The books actually did a good job putting that number, knowing everybody would try to jump off, bail off. But if you guys saw my Instagram story, believe it or not, the Pistons money line was the most bet tied in sports yesterday. So at halftime, guys thought they had it. Now I got to give the Pistons credit. After blowing that lead in the third quarter, you figure they're done. They might even get blown out by 17 in the fourth. They took up to overtime. This team is better than that record. Cade Cunningham is a player. Doran is good. Maybe they get a W tonight. Let's see. Let's see what happens tonight. So that was an interesting game, and then just the injuries we'll talk about. Guys say, "Oh, these players don't mean nothing." And look, the players obviously mean something. Yeah, Luka, Dallas covered without Luka. I get it, but Celtics without Jaylen Brown, no cover. Memphis without Ja, blown out of the building. Portland with. Yes, they were missing a couple of guys, Sharp and Ayton, and then take Simons out, beat outright by the second worst team next to the Pistons. Injuries matter, guys. Injuries matter. And that's what moves the line. After the line, if it's a wrong line, after the Sharp guys attack it, all that's moving the line the rest of the day is injury info. And there's nobody better than we've got the injury info. Our info, our previews were up by 10 a.m. this morning, and the injury info that we've got that we're about to give you was exactly what we had when we first posted it. If there's anything different that's coming in, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, guys, we'll go through this slate. If you guys want these injury updates as they change throughout the day, and of course, not here on the weekend, make sure you guys sign up on our app or the website. And really quick, if you could, like, comment, subscribe below. Let's go ahead and dive into this pretty good Friday NBA slate. First game on the card, we have Nets at Washington. They sat everybody the other night. Bridges and Cam Thomas got benched after the first quarter, so complete resting night. They're not playing good ball right now. 2-6, 1-7 against the spread their last 8. And you have this Wizards team. They just got beat up by the Raptors. They're now 2-10, 3-9 against the spread at home this season. Nets have had some success in this matchup history, but bit bigger of a number than I want to lay on the road with the team just 1-7 against the spread their last 8. Still lean Brooklyn here, but not getting on this game here, John.
Yeah, what do we got? Nets are 2-6 straight up, 1-7 against the spread. The 2 wins, both against the Pistons.
Yep.
Not saying much for the Nets right now. This is their 3rd game in 4 days, but as Ben said, they rested everybody. Thomas and O'Neal played the first quarter, didn't play after that, and then they sat the other 4 guys. So really, they should have fresh legs coming into this game. Washington, they've lost the first couple of this homestand, just absolutely terrible at home. I'm guessing you guys could hear the mowing behind me. I'll try to talk over them. The number on this game, I don't make it quite this high, but as Ben said, Brooklyn's pretty much owned the series. They've won the first 2 meetings this year. Both were in Brooklyn. They crushed Wizards both games at Washington by a combined 54 points. Don't want nothing to do with the Wizards, but I'm absolutely, just like Ben said, not laying the Nets on the road.
The Knicks going on to Orlando. Knicks coming off that loss at OKC. You have the Magic, who lost at home to Philly without Embiid. That's a game you got to have. I know Sixers own them, but without Embiid, you got to take care of business in that game. They're now 3-1 against the spread, 2-2 straight up their last 4, but still one of the best home teams in the NBA. 11-3, 10-4 against the spread. That's a tough loss there. I lean here ever so slightly to the Knicks. They've had a lot of success in this matchup, but it's a bit of a different Orlando team. I thought this little stretch here, the Magic were going to get back on track. They had the nice little game with Washington, and now they come back and they get Philly without Embiid. That's something to build momentum off of. Really bad loss there on their part. So lean here is ever so slightly to the Knicks. We want a little bit more on the number.
No, I think this one's like right there. To be honest with you, nope. Excuse the. Let's see if we can get a talk over the my landscapers. So I think this game is right there. Magic though, falling down a little bit against the 76ers. Knicks, after a big win against the Bucks Christmas Day, go out to OKC. Can't get it done on the road. Knicks have been good on the road last few years. Orlando's been really good at home this year, prior to falling down to the 76ers. I just feel this game is right where the numbers should be. Magic a small favorite.
We have Kings at Atlanta, another small favorite here for the Hawks in this game, similar line, and just tough to back this Hawks team at home. They're 3-17 against the spread their last 20, just 1-11 against the spread at home this season. Tough to want to back that team. Sacramento going through some woes right now, 1-4 against the spread their last 5. They did just come off that loss at Portland as big favorites, and that was where their bench got completely dominated, 65-13. Hawks have had success in the matchup, so ever so slightly lean here to Atlanta. At least you're not laying any points that you have to cover here. But as you talk about falling knives with the Spurs and the Pistons, Atlanta's worse than that as far as the betting aspect. 3-17 ATS their last 20.
And just can't win at home. 3-17 against the spread their last 20. That's a ridiculous number. That's a 15 winning percent, winning 15%, or covering 15%. 4-8 at home, just 1-11. Atlanta used to be a real solid home team. Zach, they've traveled well. Best road record against the spread last year in the NBA. Atlanta not doing so good. But Hawks have had a leg up in this series. They've won the last 4. They've won the last 3 in Atlanta by a combined 41 points. Again, numbers right there, guys.
We have Bucks at Cleveland. Big link to the Cavs in this matchup. They have had a lot of home success, 4-0 straight up and against the spread the last 4 meetings in Cleveland. Bucks playing pretty good ball right now, coming off a cruise win at Brooklyn. They're 8-1 their last 9. Weird look ahead for them. They're coming up with a home with the Pacers. Obviously, they had the in-season tournament. Then they had the Giannis 60 piece, the drama with the ball afterwards, everything this and that. So I am sure they're very much so looking forward to their 2-game set with the Pacers. That could be a little bit of a look ahead factor here. Cavs, they've been really banged up, really shorthanded, and it hasn't mattered. 5-1 straight up against the spread their last 6, coming off a nice comfort behind win at Dallas. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep winning, keep covering right now. They dominate this matchup at home, and you got that look ahead for Milwaukee.
Question here is, will Mitchell be back? Now, he's missed the last, is it 4 games, I believe?
Yep.
So we're waiting to see if Mitchell's back, but I agree with Ben. Good spot for Cleveland, getting their wins. Again, if Mitchell's back, what kind of shape is he? Is going to be a little rusty. Again, this is an illness. We talk a lot about the illness. Maybe you guys are tired of hearing it. I've got the illness right now. I can't go 4 quarters out there. I'd probably get on the quarter for a little bit. I can't go 4 quarters. So if Mitchell comes back at less than 100%, what can he give you out there? So that's something to monitor also. There's more illness out there, and we'll talk about that. So Mitchell's the key here. If he's out, could still like the Cavs with the line going higher. We're waiting on the injury news.
It's Raptors at Boston. Raptors coming off the big win at Washington, and then Celtics obviously last night. They're on a back-to-back here. They had that OT game with the Pistons. Brown did not play, probably going to be going today. And then you have obviously everyone else. Who are they going to rest on the back-to-back? Horford most likely, and maybe Porzingis gets thrown in there. The Celtics team dominates this matchup. They've been elite at home this season. Ironically, it was the Pistons who gave them the big sweat last night, but maybe a little bit of letting the guards down. Toronto does not getting it done on the road. 4-10 straight up against spread their last 14. And got to see who's Boston bringing into this game. Maybe they say some guys get a cheaper number, but would still be Celtics or nobody for me.
Yeah. So first of all, I was shocked that they played both Porzingis and Horford last night. The system has usually been sit one night and sit the other night on the back-to-back. Playing them both last night. Now, Horford's already given. He hasn't played back-to-back in I don't know how long. Will Porzingis go tonight? Porzingis has missed, I believe, 3 of the last 7 games. And he's been huge in the last 2 games. Tatum gets, 31 last night, but on 11 of 31 shooting. He was nursing that ankle injury. So does he sit tonight? All 5 starters played at least 36 minutes. So as we said, Horford, forget it. He's definitely out. Does Brown come back? Does Tatum sit? Does Porzingis sit? Again, that's why I was a little surprised last night. They should have sat one of the other and have one for today. Unless they're sitting them both tonight. We're waiting for the injuries. It's a big injury matchup. Back-to-back, overtime. Toronto's a day rested, coming off handing Washington a beatdown. So we'll wait and see what the injuries say on that one.
And 76ers at Houston. Philly coming off that win at Orlando. Embiid, he's going to miss another game tonight. Philly playing good ball right now, 9-2, 8-3 against the spread. Their last 11. They're still just 1-4 without Embiid, but got the last one. We'll see if they start to figure out a little bit how to play without him. And then you have what's going on with this Houston team. Started off elite at home this season. Lately, though, struggling a little bit, 1-3. And then you add in the injury issues with it, maybe part of the reason. Going to be without Smith and Brooks tonight. So couple of banged up, shorthanded teams. Philly, the success in the matchup, clearly a different Houston team. Interested to see how Udoka approaches this. Obviously, in the time in Boston, had some duels with Philly, so he knows the schemes, but no Embiid mixes things up a little bit. Would be 76ers or nothing for me. As great as Houston has been this year with the injuries, just kind of seems just enough at the time here for them to come down a little bit, have a little bit of regression.
Yeah, you got 2 teams missing 2 players each. Obviously, Embiid, NBA leading scorer. But let's see how important Brooks is. Remember, Houston's playing how they're playing because of defense that Udoka installed. And who's the key? Well, one of the keys is Brooks.
Nope.
He missed 1 game, and Phoenix put a $129 on them. Let's see what happens today. Philly, they went and put 112 on Orlando without Embiid. This game right now, again, Philly has owned the matchup, winning 6 of the last 7. But without Embiid, again, Ben said 1-4 without Embiid, different team. Again, Houston, now they'll miss not only Brooks, but Smith. That's 2 of their starters. So again, my line on this one, Philly 1. It's right there.
And we have great Western Conference matchup, maybe a Western Conference Finals preview here. OKC at Denver. This Thunder team keeps getting it done. They get a big win over the Knicks the other night. SGA and Williams, both big night scoring. They're NBA best 8-4, 8-3-1 against the spread on the road. And then you have this Denver team who just when they started seeing they cooling off a little bit, they picked it up these last couple of weeks, heating up. Jokic coming off a triple-double. Bit of a cruise game for them last night. And the road team, a lot of success in this matchup. OKC beat them earlier this year. And they won the last year in Denver as well. Last 2 wins there by combined 3 points. So really, really tight games. We'll see what that theme continues. This would be ever so slightly a lean to Denver. Number feels a bit short, but actually I would like to get OKC at a bigger price live if I could get a bigger price there. So I prefer to have OKC as the side in this game, but as far as the number, a bit short right now for Denver.
Yeah, so Denver's back-to-back, but they played at home last night, so no travel, and they cruised. With no Ja Morant, they just totally destroyed Memphis. So you got Jokic stayed in the game to get his triple-double, 26, 14, and 10, but played just 30 minutes. Jamal Murray, he played 26 minutes, and nobody else played over 25 minutes. So they're back-to-back, but again, no travel, light work with Memphis yesterday. They should be ready to go. I don't expect anybody to sit for Denver. But again, in today's NBA, who knows?
Yeah.
With that being said, OKC comes in. That's their 3rd game in 4 nights. They were off yesterday, but they took the Knicks down in OKC. Williams, SGA, 36 points apiece coming into Denver where they won the last trip. But earlier this year, Denver went to OKC and destroyed them at OKC. Road team has won and covered the last 5, and road team has covered the last 8. So this is a road series. Should be another close one, but as Ben said, I think this one's a little low. I know it's back-to-back, but again, limited minutes, no travel, so maybe a little bit low on this one. Not enough for me to pull the trigger.
Then we have Hornets at Phoenix. They're on this middle of this West Coast trip right now. They're coming off the back-to-back. They lose last night to the Lakers by 20. You have this Charlotte team, 9 losses in a row now, 3-11, 5-9 against the spread on the road. They're struggling. And then Phoenix, they get a much-needed win at Houston the other night. Kevin Durant, I think it was his 8th career triple-double, his first of the season, gets one there. Much-needed win from Phoenix. Beal, he's questionable to return. This number is ridiculous. I mean, you got a Phoenix team who's 2-11 against the spread. Their last 13 land this many points. Charlotte, I get it, really banged up, mid of a trip, back-to-back. Maybe someone else comes out on this one, but still big number. Lean here has to be to Charlotte, but they could be due for another blowout. This is a must-win situation for the Suns. This needs to be, as far as they have any kind of playoff hopes, they got to win this game by 10+. We'll see if they can cover that number.
And I think they will. I'm not out there laying 50.5. But as Ben said, first of all, you got a banged-up Charlotte team. We know Ball's been out forever. Williams, the center, he's still out. Hayward, he's out. He's going to miss more time. Short-handed team. Back-to-back off the Laker, demolishing. Now they got to come into Phoenix. Phoenix looks like they're getting their feet in the right path with a nice win at Houston their last game. May get Beal back. Hornets' last 2 trips out to Phoenix, each time slaughtered by 31 points in each of those games. So everything's set. I think Beal coming in could only mess up what little chemistry they may have put together because then you got to get that rust off. You try to force feed him the ball. So let's see what happens. But I do not want this Hornet team, like I said, last 2 trips to Phoenix, a combined 62 points. They lost by a back-to-back, shorthanded. No reason to take them. This one could get ugly.
We have Spurs going on to Portland again. It's one of those weird situations where it's a 2-game set, but no day off in between. So it's a straight back-to-back. Obviously, Spurs got it done for us last night. Wemby, big game. They're starting trying to look for him while he was cutting, and he has a huge performance. He's going to be out tonight, though. And then you have this Portland team. Henderson, their rookie, really rough night, 8 of 23 shooting, 6 turnovers. We'll see Portland comes back for revenge without Wemby. They did beat them twice pretty good last year in Portland. Lean's got to be to the Blazers. I mean, we talk about these 2-game sets where, especially when it's a home team, to take 2 in a row from a home team really tough. and you had, in fact, no day off in between. Someone else sits. So this would be Blazers or nothing. Numbers getting a bit up there, but I think it's warranted.
I can't say Blazers or nothing because even with Wemby out, look what Portland's dealing with. Okay, so you've got Sharp and Ayton. They've both missed the last few games. Simons misses last night with the illness. And Reith, the backup center, Ayton's backup center, who did such a great job on the one game that Ayton missed prior to yesterday, he was out last night. So that's 3 starters, another your backup center, enough 4 rotation players. So I can't say Portland nobody. It's one thing to say Portland if all 4 guys are back. Other than that, if they're all out, look, I like this kid Wemby. I really think he's going to be special down the road. Monster game last night. Big career, first time in the NBA, 7 blocks in less than 30 minutes. That's the other aspect of this kid's game, not just scoring.
He leads the league in blocks.
But with him out, I'm not going to give San Antonio more than 2 points for Wemby at this point. So him out, it's already baked into the line. If Portland's other 4 guys are out again, the lean's going to be for San Antonio again for me.
And we'll wait to see where that line goes with the injury info. As you guys know, we'll be updating our members with that if you guys want to be updated. And that's going to continue on with this last game, the biggest injury game of the night, Grizzlies-Clippers. And you have 2 guys who mean everything to the number, Ja Morant, Kawhi Leonard, both questionable. Obviously, Grizzlies 4-0 since Morant's return with him in. They get killed last night at Denver. And the Clippers, they had won 9 straight. Kawhi sits out. They go 1-2, 0-3 against the spread. So both these teams running based on these 2 guys. Hard to really handicap the game further than that. I will say, though, Grizzlies, a lot of success in the matchup, 7-1 against the spread last 8 meetings. Hoping Morant's in, looking for the Grizzlies in this spot. And I'm not sure he's completely down with the illness. Maybe he got something going, but to me, that felt a little bit more of a scheduled time off yesterday with Denver. It's obviously fresh legs in the season, but still getting everything back together. First back-to-back with him back in the lineup. And they always lose at Denver anyways. Looks like they want this game in LA.
Well, I'm going to go with he was ill because also Aldama, the forward that comes off the bench, he was out with the illness. We talk about the illness all the time. These guys are on the buses together, on the planes together, in the locker room together. One guy gets it, very easy to spread. That being said, Morant questionable, Kawhi questionable for the Clippers. With these 2 guys, if one in and one out, could be a swing of 8.5 points to the line. But what I will say is this: if they were both to play, this would have been a spot for the Clippers. This is a game I actually had circled. Grizzlies went to LA earlier this year when they were playing horrible, and they walked away with a 105-101 win. So you would have the Clippers, who've now had 2 days of rest, with the Grizzlies coming in off back-to-back off Denver, a real tough spot. I would have really, again, I had the Clippers circled here. Again, with the injuries, what the line's going to be, that'll make the difference.
We'll wait to see what happens there, guys. As you guys know, sign up if you want to be updated later on today. And hopefully we can build some momentum from the winners last night, carry that on into the weekend and on into the new year, John.
Absolutely. And we're going to be putting together $199 a month package of a New Year special. So if you guys want to get in on that. It's going to be for the first week of the new year. Regular price $299 a month, guys. It is the best sports betting information you're going to get anywhere. Along with our actual bets is a preview on every game in the sports we cover: NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball. Ben occasionally throw up a college game. We're at the end of the bowl season now, though. With that, my exclusive home and away ratings, which are there's no ratings better. You literally can make the line by adding and subtracting, and then obviously adding a couple of things. That's the base number. But $199 starting New Year's, and we'll end it, I guess, on January 8th. $199 on what's the best money you're going to spend if you want sports betting information.
Yep, make sure you guys follow the John Massa Instagram page and the Massa Edge. We'll put those there. Obviously, those links will be in the story. We'll let you guys in a promo code for that. Make sure you're checking that out back on New Year's. And other than that, let's have a monster weekend. Let's heat things up and let's win some games.
Let's win some games.